we go. Hi, it's Puffin here. Sorry for the highway noise behind me. I'm in my local nature park getting a practice hike in. I've got my pack on and I'm going to try to just do a couple miles. There's a lot of uphill and downhill here. It's going to hopefully get me ready for my first day where I'm going to be climbing Clingman's Dome. The weather's nice. It's cold though and windy, but the sun's out. And the nice thing about this is it's actually really good to practice in because the weather here in St. Louis moves east. And early next week when I get to Smoky Mountain National Park, this is the weather system that I'm going to be hiking in. So it's going to be just like this. Hopefully sunny, cold, a little windy. Again, I'm glad I'm bringing my winter gear. The sun warms things up in the day, which is really, really nice. So having a good hike here. I just love this pack. This is the ULA Ohm 2 that's in my other video. This thing is done so well. Everybody's hiking with Hyperlite mountain gear packs these days, and I'm still sticking with this one because it really is a good size for the equipment that I have. With the hammock and the tarp, it takes up a little bit more room, and this packs it really well. And I actually use either a Thermarest pad or a Reflectix pad behind me in my hammock, and that's folded up in the back of my pack and kind of adds a nice little frame to it. So anyway, I'm going to keep going with this hike, and it's a nice one out. Okay, I'm up at the on top of the bluff on the other side of the park from where I started. You can see the Merrimack River is down behind me, and off in the distance is Fenton, Missouri, and Highway 44, and way off in the distance is our local soccer park too. It's really hard to believe that I'm only like a mile and a half from my house right now, but 'tis the lovely place where we live right now. I'm going to talk, and as I hike here just a little bit, it's not too bad here. The rocks are pretty flat, and other than ducking around this one tree right here, it's a pretty unobstructed trail. So talk a little bit about kind of why I hike. You know, I've done just short of 1,000 miles on the Appalachian Trail now, and every time I've gone back for a section, it kind of seems there's been a different reason to go. The first time I went, I hiked 300 miles in Virginia. At that time, I didn't really know kind of what to expect or what I was going to get out of it. I just knew that I was kind of unhappy where I was, and I decided to go off and hike and think about things. And that was a very enlightening trip. Really enjoyed it. Met a lot of interesting people, met a lot of thru hikers that I ran into later that year up north. And it was really a lot of fun. Came home for a break after that. Then my second section was through Vermont and Massachusetts, again going southbound. That's where I met Wildcat, the Triple Crowner that I hiked most of that section with. We really had a great time, met a lot of people. Ran into Dixie, the famous thru hike blogger and vlogger on that, and also ran into a lot of people that I had met earlier in the summer when I started my hike down in Virginia. The next year I went back to Great Barrington, Massachusetts, and quit after 2 days because there was no water anywhere. It was a huge drought in 2016, so that was a bust. I actually went to the beach and visited my stepmother and had a good time there instead. 2017, I went back and hiked in Pennsylvania. Actually started at Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, excuse me, and then through Maryland and into southern Pennsylvania. I did 125 miles on that hike. It was really nice because when I was a kid, when I hiked on the Appalachian Trail, it was on that section in Maryland and southern Pennsylvania, so that brought back a lot of memories. My next section was a 75-mile section continuing on from Duncannon to Port Clinton, Pennsylvania. That's where I really got the taste of the Pennsylvania rocks. Oh my gosh. That was not fun. I was swearing at those suckers by the time I got to Port Clinton. I don't know how I'm gonna go back. I have to go back and finish Pennsylvania. So I have to do from Port Clinton to Delaware Water Gap, and that's gonna be a booger. And then 2 years ago, in 2019, I hiked from Daleville, Virginia to Damascus. That was 260 miles through Southwest Virginia. Met a lot of through hikers there. Saw a lot of neat stuff. The weather was amazing. I met really nice people. And that hike was about finding the spiritual in the trail. And it really was. It was very nice. That was the same year that the through hiker was killed in Virginia. I hiked through that area and saw the memorial to Strong. It was really, really impressive. Last year I planned to go back, but thanks to COVID, it was a huge bust. So I'm really looking forward to going back this year. In fact, the reason I'm doing the southern 200 miles on the trail is that there's less COVID restrictions down south than there are up north. In fact, I currently think that regulations in Massachusetts prohibit camping in the state. I don't know if that's been lifted or not, but I didn't want to take that chance. So I'm going to go down, start in Smoky Mountain National Park at Newfound Gap, and hike the 208 miles down to Springer Mountain. I should be hiking right through the tail end of the hiker bubble. That'll be a lot of interesting things to see. Hopefully by the time those people get to Smoky Mountains, they will have gotten all the spider webs out of their gear and be pretty strong hikers. So anyway, the weather looks like it'll be good. I'm looking forward to a great hike. This is Puffin signing out.